How's up, y'all? It's popping in Steve. About to react to this vid by Maury. This is narcissistic girl kills boyfriend after pretending to be the victim. I remember hearing about this story from like a few months ago. This white woman killed this black man or whatever, and audio came out of her like calling him the N-words, in arguments and things like that. And then he ended up dead, and she claimed that it was self-defense or whatever, but then she was like out partying or something like the same day or next day, something like that. It was a lot of shenanigans going on, but I don't know if she's been caught and if she's in jail or what, or if she just running out here free. But we're about to see exactly what's taking place. Let's watch.
Decide whether or not you're done with
we got elevator footage.
Whether or not you're done.
Alright, so in today's video, here's another topic that we're going to revisit that I actually previously talked about the OnlyFans model by the name of Courtney Clenny, who stabbed her boyfriend to death by accident.
I want to be like, I'm trying to be like exonerated, I guess.
According to her, and to not waste any time and to get into the meat of the story, basically in this update, reports have indicated that Courtney Clenny actually plunged the knife that she killed her boyfriend with into his chest above a tattoo that he had of her own name. And this is the general area of where she plunged that knife. Now, based on initial reports, I believe it reported that she actually stabbed him somewhere near the shoulder or the arm, but evidently those details were inaccurate according to initial statements at the time. And all I gotta say is that this just makes her look that much more guilty, because how the do you accidentally stab your boyfriend in the chest above a tattoo that he had of your own name? And it only gets worse because, according to more details, she was the abuser in the relationship. She was the one who was beating on him. She was the one who was physically abusing him and verbally assaulting him. And there were other photos in this article that were posted. I'm gonna have to blur out
no, y'all word
but
king.
Here is the crime scene. I will describe it for you. In this crime scene photo, the knife that she stabbed her boyfriend with, which looks to be a serrated knife, it wasn't even a sharp knife with no indentations. It was one of those knives that you literally cut meat with, and it's currently laying on the floor with crime scene tape, and her boyfriend's blood is just splattered all over the place next to the island in the kitchen. In another photo, here's a close-up shot of that knife. It looks to be of stainless steel, and it looks like one of those industrial knives that a professional chef would use. And in this photo, you can see Courtney Clenny standing up with her boyfriend's blood soaked into her joggers. Like, she literally looks soaked all the way from her hips down to her toes in her boyfriend's blood. It's actually pretty disgusting. And in this photo, you could see more blood, which is blurred. It looks like liters of blood on the ground, which is blurred for YouTube's rules, but there's no way that this guy was ever surviving this. And the blood smears, this definitely looks like something pulled out of a movie. It's so nasty that it actually looks like blood from a movie prop just spilled all over the floor. Oh man, she definitely has to do prison time for this, because there's just no way. And in this video that I'm going to show you right now is a secret recording that her boyfriend took before he died, and it's titled "Video of OnlyFans Model Verbally Abusing Murdered Boyfriend." Check it out.
Decide whether or not you're done gaslighting. Decide whether or not you're done gaslighting. Decide right now.
I asked you so many times that I don't know, and I apologize. But you hit me.
So according to what he was saying in that video at the time, prior to his death, I guess they got into some kind of big argument, and he was apologizing, but she wasn't accepting it, and she was trying to act like the victim, and based on what he said, she assaulted him. But she's playing the victim, and she eventually just tells him to shut the fuck up, basically dismissing his grievances. And you can see that he's clearly holding back. He's clearly showing restraint, and all that restraint and holding back inevitably ended up in causing him his death. And let me be very clear, I'm not blaming him for what happened to him at all, but if you are a victim of constant domestic abuse, you have to report and file this to your nearest police station. Talk to a detective, talk to a sergeant, a lieutenant, whoever you have to talk to in order to ensure your safety. And definitely break up with that domestic abuser, because it's never worth it. And here in this other clip I'm going to show you is more evidence of the physical abuse that he was receiving from his girlfriend Courtney Clenny prior to his death. In the scene, you're going to be seeing him being repeatedly assaulted by her in an elevator. Check it out.
A newly released video allegedly shows OnlyFans
Not
model
grabbing the
Courtney
braid.
Plenty attacking her
Perfect.
boyfriend Christian Obamselli in an elevator on February 21st. The video allegedly shows Plenty repeatedly pushing her boyfriend and trying to pull his hair. The man identified as Obamselli appears to push her back in an apparent attempt to block her attacks. 2 months later, on April 3rd, police responded to an emergency call from Plenty. When they arrived at her Miami condo, police say they found Obamselli stabbed in the shoulder. He was taken to a nearby hospital and later died from his injuries. Plenty's attorney insists the stabbing was in self-defense, stating that Plenty feared for her life during a physical altercation. Friends and family of Obamselli believe differently. We have no cause to believe that this was a case of self-defense, Obamselli's cousin said. A friend of his said, "We've seen her hit him. I've never seen him hit her."
So in that clip that we just saw, you can clearly see that
So she was
she's
abusing
the
him in front of other
aggressor.
people
She
too?
was banging on the
She-
elevator
why
panel.
is she not in
was
jail?
hitting him, grabbing at his hair, untying his braids, you know, just being a general nuisance. I'm not entirely sure if he was actually taking it that serious, but you could clearly see that after a while he decided to kind of defend himself and retaliate back. But I mean, you know, he was holding back, and at the time I think he was probably thinking that it's a joke, but he definitely did look annoyed, and you could tell that this is not the first time something like this has ever happened. And it gets even worse because apparently she's decided to throw racial slurs by using the hard R N-word at
I
her
heard it.
boyfriend while they were arguing at one point in time, and he was secretly recording her at the time. And you know, if a guy is secretly recording his girlfriend at the time while they're in a relationship like this, then it's more than likely that he's the one who's being abused. Not all the time, but if he's having to go to these lengths just to prove his innocence, when in most cases, when the reverse is happening, there isn't really much evidence needed, then you know it's a serious situation.
Don't touch me!
What is going on? Like, what are you gonna get this mad at me when I'm apologizing to you?
No, Christian.
Like, you thinking I'm doing it on
Drop your
I'm not-
drop your high pitch.
Okay, I'm not doing it on purpose.
You cuss so hard. You know damn well the right thing to do is to tell me.
Yes, and I am so sorry.
So shut up and let me f***ing slap you,
No,
dumbass.
you're not gonna stop me.
Give me my phone.
You have your phone.
Shut up and let me slap you.
Find it and f***ing charge it. Find it and charge it.
I'm sorry.
I don't care. Find it and charge it.
Okay, just stop.
Don't.
Oh, man.
Yeah, man.
Oh, man.
Wow, as a man just listening to this is super embarrassing. It's very emasculating, and the fact that he was willing to accept this from his girlfriend is very unfortunate. I mean, according to what I've seen on his Instagram page, he was living in Miami, so he had to have money. I guess he was dabbling in the entertainment industry, so, you know, he probably had connections. You know, it seemed like he was doing pretty well for his age, so for him to stay in this kind of relationship with his own girlfriend, throwing this kind of energy toward him as a man, it's just like, bro, you gotta have more self-respect, more confidence, more value for who you are as a human being. And the fact that he is submitting to her anger in this secret recording, being apologetic, and when she told him to lower his tone, him complying with that is just crazy to me, man.
Look, I'm telling you, I'm
Give
sorry.
me my phone. Find my f***ing phone and charge it.
I don't know where your phone is.
Find it.
Can you help me find it?
I want.
So why?
Find it.
She has mental issues. Why would you stay around this?
My man, look.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Little. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
What? Like,
Yeah, it's a little man, huh? Shut the f*** up.
Yo, she is so fucking abused. Nah, this is a terrible person. The fact that he even has to watch what he says and kind of self-censor himself because
She don't
he's
want him
using like kind of
calling-
informal language around.
She don't want him calling her man, but it's okay for her to call him the N-word with the hard.
Her, like, it's just crazy to me. I mean, I guarantee you if the roles were reversed and this was coming from a man with the girlfriend secretly recording him, it wouldn't have even got to the point to where she's dead. Her friends, her family, everybody would have gotten, the world would have gotten involved to save her life prior to her death. And I'm not entirely sure if he's leaked this audio to the police or if he's filed anything prior to his death or anything like that. I do know that he's made this known to his friends. His friends had seen this kind of behavior between his girlfriend and him. And in my last video talking about the situation, one of his friends, his girlfriends, not his girlfriend, but like a girl that's his friend, came out and basically said that Courtney was the abuser and that Christian was innocent in this whole thing. But it seems like that wasn't enough.
I need to find it because I have to go meet her again.
To go out?
No!
You said she might
Something's
This
wrong
is
with
my
her.
goddamn
I
phone!
don't have your phone. Just can you just
Just phone my phone!
can you just please
Shut up! Shut up! You want to go fucking talk to her without talking?
I didn't go to go.
Yes, you did. You always want to fucking asshole.
I was
You
on.
literally told me about it, and now it's like, damn.
What are you
Get
talking?
her, son.
I didn't go to talk to
You're
Aro.
not gonna-
I was going on a bike ride. Like what the?
Get off of me!
I mean, going to talk to Aro? Is this gonna make you act like this?
You literally talked to her without telling me.
Courtney, I was on a bike ride and she passed me and I said hi. You and Courtney are having a live chat. My bad, I forgot to tell you that. That doesn't make you an acting coming.
You're.
Yes, yes, thank you. Coming from you, thank you.
I want you to get away from me. Get away from me.
So as you just heard, toward the ending of that recording, she decided to call him the hard R N-word, and he said yes, which is sad because, no brother, that is not what you are, and you should never accept that kind of language from anybody trying to call you that, man. Especially from your girlfriend, bro. Like, I feel so bad for this guy having to endure what he had to. For whatever reasons, in his head, he was justifying staying. And what's even messed up is the fact that apparently, prior to his death, Christian Obumseli wrote like a 4-page love letter to Courtney explaining why he fell in love with her and all this kind of romantic stuff that kind of sheds a light on his personality type and why he was so soft. I mean, clearly this guy was a lover boy, and that kind of unrestrained love to a girl who's literally physically abusing you, verbally, emotionally, and mentally abusing you is super dangerous. But I do want to know your thoughts and opinions down below. What do you...
R.I.P. This is really unfortunate. It really sucks that, you know, he had to lose his life, but I heard a whole bunch of proof that she is an abuser and was the aggressor, but she's still out running free. I'm so confused. Like, this is so fucked up. She done killed this man in such a brutal way. There is endless evidence of her being a terrible, abusive person, but this isn't enough to put her in jail, I guess. So yeah, that's the society we're in. It's unfortunate. Y'all let me know what y'all think, though. Let me know what other videos you want to watch, and I'll see you on the next time. Bye!